Thank you.
Yeah.
So I've been really enjoying this becoming process, and I would love to hear Abraham speak about love, romance, sex, all of those things that are in my vortex.
From an action standpoint, from an observation standpoint, or from an awareness standpoint? How love feels, how sex feels. What was the other one?
Or romance, or just the so I feel like it's the relationship. I'm really close, like it's coming in, and the relationship, those components of it, because I feel like I'm aligning with them.
Well, here's the thing. The words that Esther is formulating are, we don't want you to. And so we're just going to start there. We don't want you to. In other words, it's not a good idea for you to. We don't want you to because your inner being doesn't want you to. It's not a good idea. We don't want you to make your relationship about right and wrong choices. Make it about impulses that you can't deny. But make it about good feeling impulses you can't deny. So if you're in that place where your relationship is in your vortex and you have awareness of it more sometimes than others, don't try to make that vibration, that thought, that pregnancy be born before it's ready. Trust the process and enjoy the expectancy. Enjoy the expectancy, because otherwise there's resistance in the vibration that feels like maybe urgency sometimes, but we're not talking about you, but it happens with almost everybody, or impatience, or disappointment, or sometimes even loneliness, or you even, because you're so deliberate about your thoughts, you get after yourself if you don't get a result that is quick. And that's because you're good at making things happen. But what you want to promote is being good at allowing things to happen that you've set into motion that you can't even clearly define. Because it is our promise to you, the relationship's on its way, and it's going to surprise you in more ways that it won't. And that doesn't mean you're going to have to accept parts that you weren't counting on. It's not like that at all. It's just so much more than you've articulated. For you, for all of you, but we're really talking to you right now. Nothing less than alignment will do for you. And so what if that one is on way to alignment but not there yet? You don't want the struggle of trying to coax someone into alignment. You want to rendezvous with an already aligned one. So sometimes you see someone and there are so many aspects of them that ring your bells, ling, 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 ling. But there are aspects of them that aren't in alignment and that your inner being knows are not likely to be in alignment anytime soon, like this lifetime. You really have to get to this place in order to feel really good, comfortable about it, where you really do trust that you get to choose, that you have been choosing, you've done a really good job of choosing, and your choices from our perspective are complete. In other words, we don't think you need a whole lot more to define what this is all about. But you gotta nix the impatience. And you know where the impatience mostly comes from? Other people who look at you and have the flawed premise or misunderstanding or even the nerve to see you incomplete. Because if you could explain to them, wouldn't do any good because they couldn't hear you anyway, but if you could explain to them what's really going on is that there's no incompletion, there's a state of becoming, and you're looking for divine timing. And divine timing is about things lining up, and only the law of attraction knows how to do that. So we really appreciate all you deliberate creators. We really do. But if you will stop trying to be the law of attraction and just go with the flow of the law of attraction and know that you're out of whack with your own asking when you feel anything less than eager anticipation. Jerry and Esther used to roam around in a lot of places where there were beautiful things to buy. cars, rugs, furniture, clothing, jewelry, stuff, beautiful things. Esther really loves it when vibration turns into things like that. And they'd go in, and usually some nice person would come to them and say, can I help you find something? And Jerry always said two things. We're just looking for something to want. But the thing that he said that was really closer to the core of what he meant is, we'll know it when we see it. That's the trusting we want you to have. I'll know it when I see it, and if I don't know it, I haven't seen it. When I'm not chasing it down the street, licking at the ankles, I haven't seen it. When I'm not waking up, and that's the only thing I can think about, I haven't seen it. In other words, I'm trying to make it happen. But when it feels like that, you've seen it. Then give your undivided attention to that for a while. Yeah?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you accept the existence of the vibrational reality that is the precursor to everything that is manifested? Yes. And do you acknowledge that it has a vibrational frequency that you want to match if you want to attract what's in it? And do you accept that your inner being knows what's in it and is focused upon it, and that you can feel that you have an awareness of your alignment with your inner being? Is that something that's easy for you to contemplate? So does your logic tell you that when I'm worried, I'm not on the signal? And I'm not going to get closer to it either, because I've introduced resistance instead. So what I want can't be. Isn't that easy to understand? It takes a while to hone in, doesn't it? Esther has a gate at the back side of her property where her garages are. And as she pushes a button and the gate opens, and she can push it and make it stay open, but she lets the gate close unless she knows that someone needs to get in. And if she's pushed it open and it wants to close and something gets in the way of it, it will stop, because there's a transmitter and a receiver that keep the gate from closing on a car or a person or even a little dog. So the other day, the gate wouldn't close. And Esther thought, there's nothing keeping it from opening. She pushed her clicker again, it wouldn't close. And then she thought about transmitting and receiving, about alignment. And she thought, oh, look at that little thing right there. And she looked over there, and there, transmitter, receiver. So she just wiggled the thing, and there was a red light on it, and when she wiggled it, the light turned blue. And then the gate closed. And she thought, everything's the same, isn't it? Everything in your physical world goes by the same laws of physics in the physical, but what should we call it in the non-physical? These are powerful laws that don't bend to your confusion. Your confusion has to yield to these laws. That's what this is all about. So we talk endlessly about how you feel, because how you feel is your closest indicator about when you've got resistance in the way, when you're in alignment or when you're not, when you're in alignment, when you're not, when you're in alignment or you're not. Yeah? So in the case of the gate, when the thing is lined up right, everything's good unless something gets in the way and blocks the signal. Well, when you've got your signal blocked, you feel negative emotion. You're blocking the signal. Or when you're not lined up, it doesn't light up. You see what we're getting at?